That's under a grey and uncertain sky that my first adventure of the year was about to begin. The air was mild, almost comforting, and the touch of the water fresh but not unpleasant. The trip was organized by Micah Aventure, and my father had invited me to join. I'd been looking forward to it for weeks, that feeling of being back on the water again. It was meant to be a quiet, a scenic ride, and Lac Saint-Pierre, flooded at this time of the year, where migratory birds return from their long journey. We left from the dock at Saint-Barthélemy, following our guide, as he led us on the water, hoping to catch a glimpse of those great traveling birds. We saw many, always from afar, some birds of prey, others smaller, flashes of yellow that I couldn't quite identify. Out here, the only sound are a few quiet conversations, the gentle clap of the wave, and the song of the birds. I had brought my new GoPro for that occasion. It was a little test run before the bigger adventure I'm planning for the summer. It was deeply calming to be there, like time had stopped, just appreciating the moment. The wind, the smell, the sound of the water. At first, I started kayaking for the same reason. I got into mountain biking, for the challenge, to learn new skills, and to push my limits. I was there for the thrill, with the objective to do it on white water someday. But I discovered something more. I love how sports force you to focus, to be entirely in the moment. For me, relaxing, like going to a spa, doing nothing while my mind's run through everything I could be doing. It's a torture. But underwater, it's different. I still think about all my projects, but somehow they don't matter as much. It's like they belong to another time. Then, I got more than I thought that the day would bring. Still following the guide, he led us straight into the flooded forest. Like he said, he wanted to keep me in my element of trail riding. It became oddly exciting, having to navigate through reeds and trees. The branches above us started closing in. And those dry reeds brushed against the kayak, like fingers trying to hold us there. Every opening felt like a new possibility, or a trap. We had to stop to think about our next move, sometimes getting stuck in the branches, or the ground barely below the surface, to really look around before moving forward. It felt strange, floating slowly in a forest halfway, still caught between winter and spring. The water was calm, almost still, reflecting the pale light of the sky. For a moment, everything felt suspended, like we were gliding through a painting, a still life waiting to rise from the dead. Which way we came in, honestly, I couldn't tell anymore. The deeper we went in, the more everything looked the same. In that growing forest, now half underwater, the terrain changed every year. Yet somehow, the guide was still able to find his way through this shifting maze. So we kept following him, trusting that he could see the path where we couldn't. Then, the GoPro died. Finally, we had arrived at a small island, facing a nesting zone for the great egrets. They were there, graceful and distant, like white ghosts moving through the reeds. We took a break, ate, drank, and simply rest for a while before heading back on the water. We paddled a little bit farther along that narrow stretch between two strips of land, a winding river born from the flood, before turning back, relaxed and revitalized. The sun now shone through the thin veil of cloud, its warmth blending perfectly with the spring crisp air. It was the perfect balance, as winter stepped aside, carrying the quiet promise of summer. The return felt faster, almost no wind. It was the perfect way to end the day. Gliding at a steady pace, retracing our path, closing the loop. It felt like the final chapter of a story. The calm after the effort, we were there, ready to rest.